It's a very weird thing when you're talking about these new mechanisms which have been legislated as part of the new collective bargaining agreement. I have different feelings for Joel Embiid than I do for Tyrese Halliburton. Completely different feeling. Like Nick Nurse last night, he said, hey, this knee is completely unrelated to the other knee issues that Joel Embiid has had. And when you're a massive man that moves the way that Joel Embiid moves, that has the dexterity, the athleticism, and he's not overweight. On the other side, we have Tyrese Halliburton, who was in the first game of the TNT doubleheader, Pacers Celtics. He made his return after missing 13 games with his hamstring injury. In a game in which he left, he played 13 minutes. As negotiated into the CBA, players must play in at least 20 minutes in a given game for that game to be counted towards the 65 games to be eligible for postseason. In a game in which you slip and you get yourself hurt, you're not low managing. You're not skirting anything. You get hurt. Like Tyrese Halliburton is a high minute, high production, high usage guy. He slipped on a piece of floor and he wound up missing 13 games. I think the league should give us some wiggle room on that. Give the players some wiggle room, give the media some wiggle room. But this is where things get tricky, right? Because Tyrese Halliburton, this offseason, he can sign for $245 million if he makes an all-NBA roster in the last year of his rookie deal. The base would be 204. So that's a $40 million difference. Assuming he, doesn't miss any games the rest of the way. And of course, Tyrese Halliburton on his rookie deal says the rule is stupid. But the problem is the rule was negotiated by Tamika Tremaglio and the National Basketball Players Association. Who is Tamika Tremaglio, you ask? She is the outgoing executive director, but she's outgoing and she was barely on the job for 9 months. She negotiated the CBA. Some things went haywire behind the scenes. You would have people say that the job was not too enormous for her, but not enormous enough. Andre Iguodala has replaced her, and we haven't heard much on a new search for an executive director. And this was something that I'd heard from owners after they first met her. The first one said, oh, I like Tamika a lot. And usually you don't hear that. So I go into, why. And he says, Tamika wants the public wins. We'll get the wins that matter. You can look at certain parts of the CBA and wonder where the players actually got their real wins. You can look at the CBA and say, oh, the players can have, equity and stakes into teams. And then you realize that that's really not the case. But it sounds nice.